सबको मेरा नमस्कार. This is International Master and FIDE Senior Trainer Sekhar Sahu welcomes you on behalf of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State Chess Session to this intermediate training session. I will be covering some thematic endgames which are very interesting, especially Queen and Pawn endgame and Rook versus Knight. So let's have check some endgame, then I will discuss some opening and middle game themes. Few middle game themes and then opening. In the given position, white should win. The secret is to create zugzwang. Hello, Kasparov, great, Ramakrishna Om Desai, Suvankar Sarkar and all. How to win such positions? The secret is create zugzwang. I will be giving some simple endgames because there are various range of players are watching. Not all are strong, so they are also upcoming. So some simple endgames. This is a very simple end. 50% very simple, 50% hard. Yeah, you create a zugzwang. You create a zugzwang. Basically, you create a zugzwang. Check here the check. Now the point is that he cannot take it. Now he will come over here. KC. Then you attack the knight. He will defend. Just create a zugzwang. No king move, knight is lost, and no knight move, pawn is queen. These are very simple, but the theme is important, creating zugzwang. Now I will give you some more questions. Okay, the position king to e8 and black king is on c7 and there is a knight on d7, f7, pawn on d7, there is a bishop, there is a bishop on d3. The same thing, we create a zugzwang. Zugzwang is the key. Kasparov says k is 7, nd8, bb5. Kasparov says k is 7. So knight d8. Now the point is not bb5. It is, at this moment, it is white to play. Suppose, imagine my bishop is here. Black is in zugzwang. That means we have to bring this position with black to play. So what we should do? We should play bishop to c4 or anything here. So he will wait again. Now don't go there. You wait. End game patience. Wait. Only move. And now we go to this zugzwang. I mean, a player should notice that these are the simple things. Waiting practice, waiting moves are very important in end game. Okay. So I would like to show you some more positions with creating zugzwang. Now I will take you to queen and pawn endgame, some instructive lessons on queen and pawn endgame, and then rook versus knight. These are the two important endgame themes I'm going to discuss today. Okay, I just gave an example of zugzwang. Let's say now a simple queen and I mean queen king versus, and king comes to where here c1 and the pawn g7, queen and queen, maybe queen here. This position is winning. Veerabhadra Singh says correct move, bishop, bishop. Coming to d5, whatever you do, warm up. Yes, warming up. Now I am giving you gradually hard positions. The position is winning here. But we should know the plan. What is the plan? We should take advantage of this bad king situation. That's all. Think for think for 1 or 2 minutes. Every diagram I will give you 2 3 minutes. Think. Now the winning process is okay. I want to give you time. Let you just show me a plan. Somebody found a plan. Hello, Marmik Saha. The point is now if you try somewhere trying to go towards the pawn, it is not correct. So what is the correct move now? Now the correct move is to play kb4. He will give checks. Now we will play king a4. Notice the maneuver. Now he cannot give a check on this thing. So he will give you a check again, queen a6. Now I will go to king b3. Zugzwang. Now black is in zugzwang. He cannot give you a check. He cannot give a check at e6. So he will give check at b7. And after queen b4, it is zugzwang. This is the point. This is the point. Now whether he gives a check at f3, he will lose queen to c3, or check at I mean here f7, queen c4. No check. Black runs out of check. You understand the point? It is very important that a player should get a feeling for such positions. For example, now let us start with this. Start with this. Now only move. You have to give a check only. Now you have to give a check only. Now you have to give a check. Zugzwang. You give check at f3, queen c3. You check at f7, queen c4. So this I want to instill into your mind in queen ending. There are some tricks. So let's say another question I want to give you. I want to give you another question. Let us do some queen endings. King at d3 and black king is at a3. The queen on d4 and black queen on d1 check. There is a pass pawn. White to play. Now it looks like a draw because he is going to give you perpetual. No matter where you go, he will keep checking. But it is a win. I got disconnected. No problem, Virabhadra. You are back now. You find out. So I will give you some instructive queen endings and instructive rook versus knight. Two themes today I will cover quickly. These are all in encyclopedia. All these things in are in encyclopedia. There are 5 volumes of encyclopedia by Informator publication, but they do not explain. They just give diagram and win and notes. But I am talking why it is played. For example, now I have brought all these positions from encyclopedia, endgame encyclopedia. Now King D2. Now this is not working. Queen B1, Queen G1 check. So King D2. Why King D2? He is forced to play King Queen going to A2. Only move. Now King D1. So only check. Now King E2. And it is winning again. Now only King Queen A2 check. There is only one check. There is no other check. Then King F3. Then you see, I am going to King a place where he will run out of checks. So the only move is F7 check. I mean, there is only one check. He cannot give Queen check because Queen E3 wins. The only move he has to give Queen F7 check. And then King G3. Now again Queen G6 check. Other moves are bad. So he will give Queen G6 check. Note, I will go to a square cleverly. White king will go cleverly to a square. He will run out of checks. So he will go now Queen G4. There is only one check possible now. Queen D6 check. This is bad. Bad. Queen F3 is winning. So this is only correct. Queen to D6 check. King F2. You see, gradually I am decoying. Now Queen C5 check. What else? Now King G2. Now there is a problem. There is a problem he is facing. He cannot give you the check on the diagonal because Queen C6 or D5, Queen F3 is winning. So only move Queen C2 check. He is running out of checks. He cannot give this check or this check. Queen F3 will win. So only move Queen check. So the whole point is here. Now what I am going to do? What I am going to do now here? mm, maybe here. King G1. What he will do now? He is running out of now checks, reasonable good checks. What is he going to do now? Huh? Zugzwang. He will give a check now, maybe. Maybe he will give check. No good check now. Now check. Queen check is winning. Now if you give check, this one and Zugzwang. There is no good check. If you give check, Queen G3 check, white will give a check. And if you give check, Queen A3 check, S3 check. And if you try to do anything, pawn will win. So the whole point is that we go to this point. I mean, cleverly, the king is decoying to this point. This is the whole idea. But you cannot go. You have to go here only. If you go directly here, it is a draw. It's a draw. You will give non-stop checks. You will not allow. Once you play this mistake, it's a draw. You have to defend. It is a draw only. You have to defend. Again, of course, again you have to come, and now again you have to come and draw. So that is why at this point, when it is there, you have to go to the correct square, king to d2 and win the game slowly. Okay. I mean, the queen and pawn endgame, you need to sometimes exchange the queen. Sometimes you go to a square, opponent cannot give a check or pin the pawn. If it is your move, you are having extra pawn and your move, then you should go in such a way, opponent cannot pin your pawn and he cannot give a check. So that is also one way of playing. I think I gave you a problem. Maybe about few days back, I gave you a proposition, similar situation. Okay. Let's see one more diagram. Let's see the king at e1 and the king at ha1 and the queen at g4 and queen at g8. The pawn. Knight pawn normally gives winning. That is why I am showing knight pawns. So in this position, it is white to play and win. No, KC4 will not work. I will come back to that later. Hello Suresh Bhai Chawda. Hello Devang Makwana and Vivan Visalsa. No, Veerabhadra, I will come back to you later. I did not see your question. I will come back to you later. This position, it is white to play and win. Subankar Sarkar gives the correct answer, King F1. Subankar King F1. Then black has to give check only. There is nothing. Otherwise, I will go to the move King G1 and win the game. Once I go KG1, no check. So he has to give a check, only move. Then King G1. Then Queen A7 check. He will give checks, nothing else. King H1. And then Queen A8 check. He will keep giving checks. But I will tell you, you go. Now the whole point is, you should go in such a position, you will run out of checks. Okay. Now Queen G2. There is a problem now. Queen G2. So forced, no check now. So only move Queen block. Queen has to block the pawn. Only move. What to do now? Very simple. Already I explained to you. Already I have told you. Now you should go to a position no check. For example, now you try to attack the queen. Suppose you try to attack again, you will start checking. So before going, you just move the king g1. Next, the queen is paralyzed. All you need, give some check and enter here. There is no check. The queen cannot move. And next move, I will give a check. Whatever you do, it is just way bad. You will have to wait a move. But this check is finished. Whatever you do, this is finished. I mean, going to a position where there is no check possible. This is a very important thing. You go to a position where opponent queen cannot give a check. Now I will keep the king in center and show you another position. Let us do some queen and pawn ending. I will tell you, I read a book article. You know, uh, Grandmaster Vladimiro is a very good coach, one of the best coaches. He worked in the team of Gary Kasparov. I mean, there is sometime he worked in the match with Karpov, and he came to India and trained many talented young players, including Hari Krishna, including Parimarjan Negi. These are the notable players he has trained and organized many camps in Ahmedabad, in Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, whatever. Many players he trained, many camps he organized. Excuse me. So he wrote an article that it is a phobia in players' mind that queen ending lot of checks. So you should not. It is not a draw. It is not a draw. So mostly knight pawn has a big advantage in queen ending because there is no maneuvering. So white to play, white is winning the game. Yeah. Yes, great Kasparov KG1. That's right. Yes, Suvankar KG1 and KH1. KG1 and wins that time. Find out. White to play and win. Hello, Dhaya Agarwal. Suresh Bhai Chawda, good morning. Nandini Lakhwani, welcome. So, how do you win? I know it is winning, but suggest me moves. I know it is a win. Dhaya Agarwal says king is 7. Not the correct move. Not the correct move. No. Try again. Many times we should simply, this kind of maneuvering, we should see. Typical maneuvering. अभी मैं आपको हिंट देता हूं ये जो पॉन है दिस पॉन इज कंट्रोलिंग द स्क्वायर दैट्स दैट इज द की दैट इज द की द किंग इज इन अ वेरी पुअर प्लेस so this is simple win simple win क्या बोल रहा है नो, somebody, आपको बस ये करना है, क्वीन बीच में दे दो, हो गया काम. अभी ना वो ये चेक दे सकता है, क्वीन D5 wins. If he plays queen C4, queen D5 wins. Yes, Daya Agarwal and Kribya Parmar. Hello, welcome Chris Panwar. So queen C4 loses, and now queen E4 loses. Queen E5 check. The only check is this. King, no check, no good check. I mean, check is there, no good check. The only move he has to block, and now it is easy winning. It is easily winning. So you give a check, and you can just attack and win the game. The whole point is there are sometimes very simple wins because the king is exposed. After the check, there is no good check, no diagonal check, queen D5, no vertical check, queen E5. I mean, many times the win is in our hand. We just miss it. We have to see the king position. We have to see opponent's king position. Let's say I will just make a small twist. Same diagram, I will make a small change. The king on E7, black king on A6, the queen on D4, and black queen on, and there is a same knight pawn. So this position, it is white to play and win. I've seen in queen ending that the king comes to G8 and blocks the passed pawn on G7. Yeah, some queen endings like that. So that Vladimiro's article, I will try to get. I am having here in my home only, but it's so much material I have to search. Vladimiro's article on queen and pawn ending was excellent one. The win here is simple. Thank you, Omkar Pingle. Chess, there is so much to know. Chess is an ocean. Somebody said, whole life is not enough for learning all chess. But that is a fault of life, not fault of chess. Even if you spend 100 years, you will not know everything about chess. But that is not fault of chess, fault of life. So here, the correct move is king d8. King f8, then there is some diagonal checks will come. Some queen f3, queen 8, all these things. So king d8 is running out of maneuvering. The idea now he is running out. There is no good check. The point is now there is no good check for black. He has to stop the queen by diagonal. अभी check ही नहीं है. यहाँ पर आने से check है. So here no check question. Only. Oh, what else? You have to stop the queen. There is nothing better. But now queen check. King has to go b7. Whatever you do, now king e7. Now he will play queen a3 check. Otherwise, I am going to cover up quick. So queen a3 check. Whatever you do. So king f7. Now look at the maneuvering. Queen a2 check. Queen e6. Now he will play queen f2 check. There is nothing. He has to keep giving check. Pawn is queening. He has to keep giving checks. Sorry. He has to keep giving checks. तो अभी वो क्या करेगा? Now king e8. No check. No good check. Finish. Finish. Game is over. I mean, we should take advantage of bad king situation, opponent's bad king situation, and maneuvering room for opponent's queen. I mean, this is, I told you, placement of your own king, placement of opponent king, that counts a lot. Okay. Now let us see. King position I will change. Similar diagram, knight pawn only. I will change the king position. Let us say the king on f5, and here black king is somewhere e1. The the queen will go to d4, and black queen somewhere f3 check, and there is a pawn on g7, b7, g7. So this position is white to play and win. Very easy. This position is very easy. Why? Because after queen coming here, he is running out of bat. The point is you can't give the check because queen e5 check. You cannot give queen d3 check, queen e4 check. So this leaves only one good check, queen check. But after king f6, he is in trouble. No check, and you have to go passive move. Some queen e8 or queen h7. Okay, so queen h7. Whatever you do, now give a check and queen. Next queen. So that means what it applies, this king is very poorly placed. This is the reason. This is the reason he's collapsing. Classical games of great present masters, and yeah, I will show. Today I will show some middle game themes also. But let us finish these end games. I have planned to show. Because queen ending, many players don't like. They think the queen ending is a draw. They think that lot of checks will come. So I want to clear your concept. So let us change the situation little bit. The same situation. The king is on g4 and maybe the king on f1. I will change a little bit. The queen in d4 and black queen is on b5. This position. And this position is also white to play and win. White to play win. Some queen endings, and I will take you rook versus knight ending. No, no, no. Actually, it is a wrong thinking. Great Kasparov, you are Kasparov. You cannot be bad in endgame. The whole point is you have not examined. I used to think that I am not good in opening. You have to work. Then only you know the opening. See, nobody is bad. You are all talented players, but you have to work. Without working, how will you say bad? You spend. Magnus Carlsen was doing badly in endgame. Today, world's best technician, chess technician, endgame technician is Magnus Carlsen, endgame player. But you go back at 8-10 years back, he was doing badly in endgame. Endgame में ही हार रहा था. In 2004-5, he was 2004-5 he was doing badly. He worked 3 years very hard along with trainers, whatever. So the correct move, King H4. You are running out of good checks. Now you have to stop the pawn. There is no check. And after queen b3, it is a very easy win. You give some check, and the queen. Check and whatever you have to only coordinate. Some queen check and this is winning. No matter what you do. Here queen g4 check and here queen g4 check. Here maybe here queen check and winning. So you have to avoid queen exchange. But no matter here queen g4. So sorry. Here queen g4 check and I queen again. This is winning. No matter what you do, it is lost. King e2, then queen g4 check and winning. So no player is bad. I will tell you, I used to think like that my opening is better. When you work only, you will become good. No. पढ़ेंगे तो एग्जाम में पास होगा ना. फर्स्ट क्लास प्लस चाहिए और पढ़ाई नहीं करेगा. Okay. Now I will give you another example. Same knight pawn only because knight pawn is the key I feel. Queen here and queen here. Knight pawn. So here white to play and win. No, don't worry, you will come to know. I told you already. You read Balasov's book, Kasparov. You read Yuri Balasov's book that you will help you to improve your handling. winning. No problem, Suvankar. Live classes is you can only interact. So recorded classes also okay, but you can interact here. Why not this? Why not that? That is the only difference. So no problem, no problem. So the position winning here. What is the process? Somebody has to suggest me what is the winning process. You know, everything changes. Everything. Suppose the king is here. Suppose the king is here. Everything changes. This is a much more longer task. But king here, now this position, king here, black to play loses. So here, what you should do? Give a check. Then only you cannot put queen. The only move. King h7, zugzwang. The point is, you cannot pin my pawn. Normally, pinning the pawn is a one type of defense. You cannot pin the pawn. You have only one check. This is a bad check because I have decoyed the king to a bad square. Now this is a bad check. Queen g6. Here, if you play queen g6, that means only check, but then lost. This is lost now because you cannot give c to check. And if you pin this, I think here what you should do, the winning plan is here, you should control the square because when I come here, what is you going to do? You will play queen c3. When I come here, queen e5 is coming. So what you should do? You should go. You should go to the square. Hmm, how are you doing the game here? Maybe here, how to control all three squares. All three squares. That means I think I should give a check here. Check here. Check here. Now check here. Check here. Now I'm controlling these two squares. So this is the only square available for him. I think this check should win. This check, no matter what you do, and now I come. Finish. Now I'm controlling the check. I'm controlling the check. I'm controlling all the squares. So he cannot pin me, he cannot check me, and this check loses. No, no, no. He will give a check, but that will win. So the whole point is here you give a check, decoy the king, and then come winning the game. Okay, so I give a couple of more questions on knight and pawn ending. I will clear your concept. Let us say the king is on same thing. I will change a little bit. The black king is on b1. The queen at h6 and black queen is at b2, the pawn. What about this one? This position is a more harder than last diagram. White to play. White will do the same trick. White will play king h7. So you have to play queen b7. You cannot give me a check. So only move pinning. So in this case, now the winning process is queen check. Now he will play kb2. Now we give queen b somewhere check what? So queen c check, queen check. Now you keep giving checks and come closer. Now queen e2 check. You keep coming closer. You keep giving a check. So you will come here. And now after the check, now queen c1 check. He will run into zugzwang now. Because after king a2, now queen king h8. Queen is controlling the square. Okay? Why it is not happening? Queen is controlling this square. And queen is controlling this square. So he cannot pin the pawn, he cannot give a check. That's it. That's all about it. Double bishop is very easy. Yeah. Great Kasparov and king h8. Yeah. So what I meant to say, you have to control the check square and you have to control the pinning square. I mean both. The player has to see to not to allow a pin, not to allow a check. I think I have done a lot of queen ending. Maybe one or two more. One or two more. Maybe I will change the diagram a little bit. So what I will do, I will put the queen here. This is all fine. The king is okay. The queen, I will put it at c3 and this queen, I will put it as h5. This position is white to play, white wins. White is winning. Hello, Parvatakar. Now you give a threat. Very simple. You give a threat. There is no useful check now. He has to pin the pawn. The answer is forced. The answer is forced. And now the winning process is you give a check. The king will go to a2 or b1, whatever. You will go. You will go here. Check. Centralize the queen. King a1, then king g6. You know the secret of the winning move. Now the queen is running out of good checks. I have centralized the queen and guarding the checks. So only move. You have to give e8 check. No check. No good check. Lost. That means what we learned from the game, centralization of queen is a very important aspect in queen and pawn endgame. I guess we have done a lot of queen ending. Maybe I will show one or two. Maybe I will show to knight rook versus knight. So rook versus knight I will discuss. Normally rook is equivalent to knight and two pawns, even two pass pawns. White can rook can hold the game. But still I will discuss one position. Let us say the king is on d1 and the black king is on maybe d4 and two pawns. And there is a knight. This position is a draw. White to play, white can comfortably draw the game. How do you draw the game? Kasparov, you can become a tactician like Tal or Topalov, but you have to go. Chess is only hard work, nothing. There is no secret. Now it has become a science. The more you work, the more stronger you become. If a player is talented, he will go very quickly. Suppose a chess player, you have a very good chess talent, you can achieve in 1 year what other players can do in 3 years or 5 years. For example, Grandmaster Kotov, he himself wrote. Grandmaster Kotov is well known for writing good chess books, fantastic books. Think like a grandmaster, plan like a grandmaster, train like a grandmaster, play like a grandmaster. Many good books. And he has written books on Alekhine also, best games of Alekhine, nice books. He wrote that Kotov said that he was not a very talented player, but he worked 18 hours a day, 18 hours a day for a few years and became a grandmaster. So hard work will definitely pay. So don't say you want to play like Tal, you have to work. Hello, Goenka. So here there are many good moves. You can play RD7. This is a good move. This is just good. But immediately Rook C8 is also draw. Even if you play Rook D7, also he cannot make progress. You cannot leave the pin. But why go here? Rook C8. कौन है? अच्छा, okay. So this is a very simple draw. Now you have to give a check, means king has to come to D3. Now you go, just wait. You wait. You cannot give a check. I'm going to take, and that means if you have to give E2 check, E2 check, king E1. Now free the knight. The moment you knight move, then rook check will come, or you play rook into pawn will come. So it's a draw. Cannot make progress. Now let us say knight f4. This is a reasonable move. Now r6, r check will give. No. I made a mistake here. I made a mistake here. Rook c6. I'm putting rook in horrible square. So pawn check, king, and now knight f4 and rook check. This is a draw. No more winning. Don't you think it's a draw? King e3 will come. Now you should spot the king is having no mobility. So rook check, draw. No progress. After king e3, king f3, rook f3 check. Better draw. So otherwise, if you stress too much, you may lose the game. So only move and draw. So normally, even two connected pawns, rook can hold the game against the knight. So there is a lot of resources when you have rook, and one pawn, normally rook will win. One pawn, it is normally winning for that. First, I will tell you, rook versus knight. अगर knight cut off हो गया, तो knight is lost. Suppose, let us say, white king on d6 and black king on f7, and white rook is on e4. Black knight is cut off. This is an easy. This position, it is an easy win here. So maybe I should take little bit here. The knight, I should move it like this. Where is this? This position. This position, white to play wins. The theme is cut off. I saw first time, I saw this position in Calcutta 1978. You know, Calcutta, there is made lot of Goodrick, made a lot of Alekhine chess club. 1977, they started organizing strong tournament. The first Alekhine Championship 1977, I was the winner. I won the tournament ahead of many national players. 1977. 1978, Grandmaster Chichlis played there. So, in one game with Abdul Jabbar, he won such an end. When the knight is near the king, it's a draw. It is a draw. When the knight is here or here or here, it's a draw. Knight एक बार बिछड़ गया, बछड़ा अगर बाहर गया तो गया, knight बिछड़ गया तो गया. So white is winning the game now. So this is a theme. Yeah. So how do you do that? You play rook e3. Now rook e3 out. Now knight cannot come. Cannot come. He cannot come. So only move, he will give a check. If you play knight b4, it is easily cut off. King d6, now all the squares are cut off and this is all cut off and this is gone. This is all gone. This is gone position. Knight c2, you will play rook e4 and knight is gone. Knight is out. It is gone. Knight a3, suppose you play knight a3 now. Now king c5, I will trap. You will play knight here, I will attack. Now knight is lost only. You come here and now maybe here I will play kb4 and gone. Or you play whatever you do, it is lost. Okay. So you can't go, you cannot go here. You have to go here and c5 check. So you have to go knight c5 check here. Okay, knight c5 check. I will play attack the knight. So he will play nb7 check and attack the knight. Now the point is, now where the knight is going to go now? So where are you going to go now? Knight कहाँ जाएगा अभी? Knight a5 check देगा. What else? What you are going to do now? Knight a5 check. If you give check here, suppose you give a check here, then king d7. And now knight has only square. And now I will cut off the knight. How? I will bring the knight here. Next, I will give a threat. Next, I will give a threat. Winning. Next move, rook is coming here to b4. Next rb4, knight trap. So you cannot go to. I mean, here you have to give a check here. a5, a5. But when knight f5 check, now kd7 and running into zugzwang. Zugzwang. So what you will do now? kd7 zugzwang. Lost. You cannot go knight b7, rook e5 wins. And now knight c4, knight c4 he will come. You give a check and push the king further. Give a check, push the king further and king e6. I will go mating threats and controlling the knight. Gradually I am going to cover up. Next plan, I want to give a check push and rook d3. So you will suppose you will come now, knight to d2. What else you will do? Knight d2. There is no other move. Gradually it is going to push. Suppose you play king g5. Suppose you play king g5 or d3. Restrict the knight. Now knight squares are gone. This is gone. The king cannot come. You cannot come to the fourth rank. Rook check is there. That means this is lost position. Now knight b6 will come. Now this position, I will come rook here. And then I will play rook b4. Lost. So you cannot play kg5. So what are you going to do now? You will play nd2. No, this is lost. So you will play nd2. nd2. In this case also, this is easily winning. All you have to do here, rook f4 is enough. Rook f4. After kg5, you can just support the rook. After you win kg5, you can just support the rook and win the game. Okay. kg5 will win the game, right? Nothing is there now. Is he running away? Is he running away? This is restricted, all restricted. The only move remains NB3 now. Again restricted. Now D2 is restricted. King G4. Now Rook C2. Controlling the squares. Now I am control all the squares. Now the king is coming. Winning. Okay. Lost. Okay. Maybe here. Maybe here. I should come directly. Maybe here I should come directly. This is better. Better. Because now if you come here, then king comes and the knight is lost. The knight is lost now. And if you come knight c5 now, suppose knight c5, then rb5 wins. The knight cannot come to this square. Knight cannot come to here discover. This is running away. How can I miss this? How can I miss this? rb5 should win, no? rb5. Sorry. rb5 should win. Knight a4 is not possible. If you play here, I think I'm mishandling the position. So you play kg5, rb2. Why kings here nb3? Messed up. nb3. Why this move? f2. c2. I should stop the knight first. c5. Correct. Rook c5. This should win the game. Rook c2, controlling the knight. Now you are zugzwang. The knight has no square, because if you come further like this, if you come further, then maybe here I will restrict further. The knight is gradually I am going to corner the knight. So this is lost. Now if you play king d5 back, and rook b2 wins. Rook b2 wins. rb5. Now discover attack. So sometimes you have to just coordinate. Pieces. You have to see the discover attack, restriction of the piece. Rook versus knight, you need to just control the flight squares of knight. Okay, just let me put the fan on. It is getting warmer. So here, rook versus knight. White wins. Black to play. Even the black to play. I will make it black to play. White to play mate was there. No? Black to play also wins. You give a check, I will play king g5. What else? Now king g5. Now knight e6 check, I will play king f6. And zugzwang. If you play knight here, pin and win. That means the knight is cut off from the king and lost. And at knight f4, now rd4. You cannot come here. King g6 will win the game. So whatever you do, it is lost. Just see. Okay, I want you to find out, suggest me how to play this position because you also should participate. Please participate and tell me how can you win. How can you win this position? Winning plan, very simple winning plan. Yes, Adi Jain, correct answer. Rook g4, correct answer. Rook g4 and he will get knight. Because after king f8, king f8, or you go king here, it is in a mating net. So he will go king f8 only correct. But then here rook c4. Suddenly I am watching the squares. Mate threat is there. Mate threat is there. So you come. You cannot come here. And now king g8, kg6 wins. You have to only move here king f8 and now kg5. Zugzwang. It is running into Zugzwang now. I am coming. My king is coming to take the knight. My plan, my threat is to play king here and king here. Winning. So you better play ng3. Now kg4. The knight is trapped. Knight is trapped now. So these are many simple tricks. I mean, the giving a mating thread, that is also one part of it. I will show a position which is not normal. Not normal. There is a king here. Is on f2. Black king is on a7. C7, a7. The pawn on, and there is a knight, and there is a rook. This position, black to play also loses the game. Black to play also wins. Now you have to play. The knight has only one good square. The king cannot move. King moves, mate, and knight cannot come. The only square, knight. Okay. RB7 check. King 8, RB4 wins. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Now knight E3 will come. How to win this game? Please think and tell me how to win this game. Good morning, Tanmay Azmera. How do you win this game? Goenka, correct answer. Rook E4. Rook E4 is the correct answer. Because after ND5 check, King C6, Black is in zugzwang. Now in c3 only move. You are running on no square. If you play, then he will play rook coming and kg6, the only square attacking the knight. But then rook e3, running out of no 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 not check. Rook e3, winning winning the game. Now in b5, you have to go near, otherwise knight is complete cut off. You go somewhere, then rook d3 wins. So only move knight b5 will come. But kb6, zugzwang. It is now zugzwang because now the knight is the pawn is falling. The king made threat. There is a checkmate threat now. There is a checkmate threat. So the only square is knight, no other square. But then re6 lost, completely lost. I will attack. I will push the knight. I will push the knight from the defense area. Now the knight cannot come. Knight here losing. Knight losing. The only move knight d2. But then rook e2. I will push the knight all the way away from the defense. So nb3 only move. If you go somewhere, mating attack. The only move knight. But then zugzwang. No check, no good king move, nothing. So even though the extra pawn, the cornered king loses. So this is an instructive position. Please note such things comes in the game. Such things are possible in actual tournament games. So maybe some more end game. Okay, one more thing I wanted to discuss. Maybe I will do some middle game. One more thing and then I will take some middle game. I will come back to this topic later on. One more position I will discuss. Then I will take you to middle game. Okay, this position is black to play. Still black is lost. Think how should black play? How should black play? Knight moves, pawn is lost. If you give knight check, king into pawn and winning. Knight h5 does not work. So you have to move the king to h8. King has to go to h8 only. Zugzwang hai. King cannot move. The only move king h8. But now I want you to find out how white is winning. Very simple. Knight को दूर भगाना है. Hello, Pranshu Thakkar and Rishabh. Then I'll take you to some middle game theme and opening. Time is running out. Okay. Tell me. Correct move. Who said that? Jugal Mehta and Rishabh. The correct move. The correct move. Rook d4. Zugzwang. I want the pawn and it is all over. After rook d4, it is all over. He will play ng2. Rook d4, ng2, and now it is winning the game. Whatever you do, it is winning. Okay. So this rook d4 is winning the game. Whatever. Suppose you play g5. Suppose you play g5 here, rd4, g5, and then g5. What else? Rook cut off. Zugzwang. Zugzwang hai. So he will push the pawn desperately. Once again rook d4. I want to pick up the pawn. Knight into knight here, rook into pawn should win. Again mate threat should come. Knight e3. Again, you have to play correct move. You see, one careless move, everything changes. I want you to find out what to play and win. Somebody, no, I am not convinced. Who says rook e4 correct? Rook e4 is the correct move. Dugal Mehta. The knight cannot come. Now the check, king f7. Lost. Whatever you do, it is lost. You cannot. Now you go knight here. If you go here, the king comes to g6 and mate. If you go, no, you cannot go there. So only move check. Unstoppable knight. Yeah, I leave these positions. I will take you to some middle game and take you to opening also next. Just a minute. Now we win normally game when we have a superior king position or more active pieces or a better pawn structure. Now white has more active pieces. The black knight on a5, it is just out of game. So white has centralized pieces. So white should win the game. So you should generate more activity. So first he brings bishop e5. Idea, I want to bring next move, knight coming to target it. Knight. Now he's giving a very serious threat. We should know. Yesterday only I showed that practice. Paul Keres versus Gligoric. Now the simple threat. I'm coming here and coming on this point. So he plays this move. Now if you play queen here, he will run away king. So brings the rook. Now white to play and win. Please find out how should white win the game. Peace play. This is not a puzzle. I'm telling you there is no force win, but we'll improve the position in such a manner that it will create tactically favorable situation. आपका pieces active है. अब ये knight game में लाना है. Knight is doing nothing here, so he brings it into the game. Too late. Now white is winning, just like Keras Gligoric. Keras Gligoric will give a threat first. Queen. Idea knight h6 check. So king h8 is only correct move. A forced sequence of win. Now, this is not a puzzle. Show me the win. How do we win this? It's now. How do you win this? The point is you create a tactical target. For example, after bishop into bishop, he cannot play rook into because that will lead a mate. Rook into rook and queen g7 mate. Mate. So bishop into bishop you are forced to take with the pawn only. You are forced to take. And now rook into rook. You are forced to take with rook only. Now a threat. You are not able to defend. So rook will come. Again threat. So rook will come. No other move. Other moves are just losing only. The queen is tied down. Is g7 mate ko queen tied down. So only move rook. Now we need to always quickly see the weak points. What is weak now? Now it is like a puzzle. It has come like a puzzle. Now winning the game. How? The back rank. Now by attacking rook, he has to defend. You cannot defend or queen mate. So only move. Now the back rank has become weak. So just switch the rook. You can't take it. Back rank. तो back rank guard करो. How to win this game further? Finishing in three moves. Winning in three moves. Find out the win in three moves. Back rank is weak. You take advantage of back rank. Yes, somebody said reserve. Right move. Knight d6. Knight d6. Cannot take it. Rook check. So only move. No other move. Anyway, rook coming here. Anyway. Forced. And now knight check, pick up. And then queen will win. It is very easy. The queen will pick up a lot of pawns and win the game. Winning. So the whole point is active piece play. Active piece play wins. That is why a player should not leave a piece somewhere outside the board. Somewhere, always keep the piece near the king, in the center. Okay, next game I would not discuss. Same player. We will show the game first few games. Opening is not so great. I will skip the opening discussion here. White has an advantage. White has an advantage. So bf4. You have to take. There is nothing better. ND5 is coming. So yes, right. Now pawn push. Here, I want you to find out how to win this position. I saw such a game, I think Kramnik, a similar maneuver did. Kramnik. I think Kramnik. And I found out uh, Gligorik. Gligorik. I will show you those two maneuvers so that you won't forget it. Find out white to play. Very basically, white advantage is very clear. You have bishop pair, space, good pieces. But if you do not play correctly, the advantage will go away. You need to be very careful. Now, your bishop belongs here. This bishop belongs here. So simple, finish. You play bishop e3, no threat, nothing will happen. So the correct move, bring the bishop to the right place. Bishop here, you better come. Otherwise, once it comes, it is a mating attack. Mating attack will come. So want to exchange, but this will endgame is lost. Now the endgame is lost. So I mean, so Gligoric Spielmann. No, I will show you. Same maneuvering. Gligoric. Black was Spielmann. Jonathan Spielmann, a very strong grandmaster. Spielmann, ये आ गया Spielmann. देखो. Okay, opening. I'd leave the opening discussion, and now queen takes this. White is better. Now the point is, this bishop is doing nothing here now. So you need to employ the bishop in this place. This is what I mean. So you should realize bishop is doing. Yeah, it is doing. That time I stopped castle. After before this, I was stopping castle. Now he has castle. So what are you doing here? The bishop belongs here now. That is why he regroup the bishop. Okay, the pin once you bring bishop here, it is very annoying. So now it's winning the game. Now it is lost. Whether you come, whatever you do, it is just bad. So पीस साक किया बट अब ये गया गया कुछ नहीं होगा ये बच जाएगा दो पॉन के लिए पीस और बैड पोजिशन लॉस्ट so Kramnik also did that so he came bishop okay I will it will take for me time to search so I leave that game now regrouping the pieces as and when you like okay one more middle game theme now this position many times the players are not happy with Nasdor or Dragon, so they try to change the move order. I remember in a very critical game, my last round game in National Challenger 2000 at Tata Nagar. In year 2000, I was playing with an IM. I am from Bengal. So he was an expert of Sicilian Scaveningen. So I just avoided it. Suppose you play knight f3, d6, d4, take. So I just said avoided it. Closed. And he thought I am closed and he played knight c6. But in this game, I played now knight f3 and after d6, take. And now this is not Scandinavian, it has become classical. So I tricked him. I tricked him and won the game. So I knew more theory in classical because I was playing both sides. So my opponent was only a pure Scandinavian player. So he got into trouble and gradually I beat him in queen and pawn endgame. Probably that game may be here. It could be here. It should be. I will show that game if it is here in Tata. Now, in this game, he plays tricking d6. You want to play Nasdorf or Dragon or Scheveningen, you play this move order. Now d4 takes queen takes pawn. So I have tricked him, and knight c3 is not a bad move. After knight f6, d3. Now if you play now knight here, I am going to play bg5 only. Bg5. Okay. So this is the trick actually, but anyway, I will tell you the position how it ends. Now, white has an advantage. The simple plan, I want to play like pawn b g4 and then plant my knight here, The threat of G5, the threat H4, H5. White has a ready-made attacking plan. This is not bad. You believe me, black will come in serious trouble if you play this move order. कुछ नहीं कर सकता है. No, now A5 will not come. White plan is very clear. I will plant the knight on F5. If you take G5 will open. Knight F5. मारो या ना मारो गेम गया. अभी I want to win the pawn. I want to play knight into E7 and take D6. अब ये knight को हटाना ये भी खराब है. तो मारा. हो गया. Now G file is open. This is already terrific position. G file open. The square, this point, lost. अभी Zook G1 आ जाएगा. उसके बाद तो गेम गया. आया. कुछ नहीं है. 3 attacks. So I move the knight. Rook. खत्म हो गया. After bishop, queen coming. You must lose a piece or get mated. G6 is not playable. And knight F6, queen F6 is coming. So black went desperately. Knight. Hello, Garg. Tapasya Garg. Sir, play game with us. The point is, if I play, I will tell you what is. What I am showing you is Grandmaster games. We learn more from Grandmasters. Yeah, I can play a game, but playing a game, I must tell you the idea behind the moves. When I am playing, no, I cannot analyze one game, it will take half an hour. Now it is lost. For example, what should you do now? The decision, if you play pawn into, then pawn into his counter. So we should not be greedy. We should take bishop into. Our pawn into is too slow. There is no attack. So he gives desperate. Next move, suppose you move, I am playing blocking. After that is all over. No attack and piece is lost. So desperately he gives pawn push. अभी आपको क्या इतना मटेरियल नहीं दे सकता है. He is giving a rook for the moment. I take the rook. Your whole rook up. तो अभी आपको क्या करना चाहिए? I like that Russian book, you know. There are two simple books written, 40 lessons from beginner to expert. This is for a very novice players. Then 40 lessons for club players. In the 40 lessons, they say, when you are material up, go for the end game. Exchange pieces. Now he's a whole rook up. I don't need to take the knight and play middle game. I just come back. Simple. All over. You give a check, king. Now you come here, knight into pawn, all nothing. Or you exchange queen, it is lost. And again rook down. So exchange down हो जाएगा. Now this is just lost completely. So the whole point is, I showed you the setup. It is not bad. देखो आपको अगर ड्रैगन नजर में तकलीफ है तो ये आप खेल सकते हो. ये आप खेल सकते हो. E4, C5, and C3. अगर NC6 खेला तो this is a close हो गया. So you can play close regular. Now I can play knight f3 and I will open up d4. And if he's a dragon master player, he has to play d6 and then d4 is good. Takes queen d4. This is not bad. Now knight here I can play bg5. So, but I will tell you, if this is so, that means dragon Nazdorf will stop. No, this is an interesting idea. I am telling you an interesting idea. How to play black? Okay, I can show you. I can show you how to play black. What is the question here? Rook will pin king and mating pattern can come. Yeah. So this is not that great, but it is interesting. So here, this is interesting ideas. Okay, I will show you how to play black. Now d4, cd, queen d4. Now I will show you how to play black here. 3-4 games I will show you. David Navara. David Navara is a great player. 2700 plus player. So NC6, bishop d7. Of course, pawn into is possible, but better to bring a piece. Why I don't like pawn into? Because he can play e5. He can play e5. That's why. So I take bishop into. Now, the point is that he has come. I will play for two bishop and better center. Queen a5. Queen a5. So white has now to struggle against two bishop and good center. The pawns are very good. Now I want to dissolve a double pawn. So bring the rook out. White defend करो हो गया. Black is already very good. Double pawn gone. Double bishop. Bishop g7 coming. This minus. This is minus plus. You cannot take that pawn. Then there is more trouble. The bishop is against the rook. बाबू ये आ जाएगा अभी. So अब ये किया उसने. He moves now. Okay, this is finished. Party finish. You can take the pawn and get into trouble. Cannot take the pawn yet. I will defend. Extra pawn and center. So this is not a great move. That opponent black has to play very resourcefully. I will show you some more game. I like the game of Firuza Ali Raja. You know, or Ali Raja Firuza is the latest sensation. I think he's an Iranian boy, Iranian player. Now almost 27, 50, 60 maybe. I don't know his rating, current rating. 27, 50, 60, 70 maybe. And he beat Carlson also. Tempo. Of course, this is a very simple move. You can play quietly. After the move, knight g7, knight f6, castle. But why not? They fight for every little bit. अभी आप ये करके भी खेल सकते हो. बिशप आएगा, वो बिशप आएगा, ये नाइट आएगा, वो कैसल करेगा, मैं करेगा. This is a good position for black. But why not get a tempo? Tempo. Only move f4. तो एक टेम्पो तो मिला ना. BB2 आया नहीं अभी तक. फर्क है. So Ali Raza Firuza got a clearly better upper game now. The development black is better than white. Enough. I am showing the opening part. I am not pushing further. I am not pushing further. Now let us say Farooq Amanato is a great coach and a great player. So he defended very nicely. Right here, bishop, take. I recommend this setup for white, black. Now knight e5. Now the point is, if you play normal move, I want to castle the king quickly. But if you play like this, then bishop will come. ये मार देगा, ये मार देगा. The knight will be the controlling this. I think I showed already the game Fischer versus. I will show that game and Boleslavsky versus Lisitsin. Two games I showed on the Smyslov versus Dunker. I showed the weakness. ये जो मिडिल गेम थीम है मैं आपको ऑलरेडी दिखाया है. तो व्हाइट विल बी गुड हियर. वो मार देगा. सपोज कैसल बिशप टेक्स नाइट, देन व्हाइट बेटर. अब ये बिशप डमी हो जाएगा. अभी कैसल कर देगा. अभी उसके बाद ये नाइट आ जाएगा. सो दिस इज व्हाई Omonato played here h6. No bishop g5. Now I think black is a good game. ये कुछ नहीं चलेगा. Now the bishop has done the job. ये नाइट आएगा तो मैं मार देगा इससे. तो bishop should return like this into the line. Regrouping. Very well played. Excellent demonstration. Fantastic. Minus plus. Now white attack is too slow. Even if you come here, कुछ नहीं है, rook नहीं है. अभी black rook is ready. Center is better. d5 threat. अब ये क्या करेगा? खत्म हो गया. मस्त मारा है. एंड गेम हारेगा, मिडिल गेम में भी हारेगा. ब्लैक स्टैंड्स बेटर. पैरालाइज है, यहाँ कुछ है ही नहीं. Initiative for black. And white is a grandmaster. White is 26-46. Yeah. ये जो है, let me just I'll show you 1 minute. Mahi Doshi showed NB4 come. I missed your comment, Mahi Doshi. So here, let us say another game of Farooq Amanato. Same line. Okay, you can go like this also, like Firuza Ali Raja. ये भी है, but this is normal. Now RD8. I want to go for D5 break. This end game is good for black. Now, of course, this is a bad idea because backward. This you play this, you get into trouble. You get into trouble. A backward pawn will come in the open line. White will play on it. So we should avoid such a kind of thing. Now after queen exchange, knight. Very instructively played. That's why I selected the game. Systematic. The whole idea here, the knight belongs this point here. And then I can operate on this point. Knight will watch from here. So back, so that all freeing the pieces. Perfect Sicilian, nice Sicilian strategy. Now e6 will come later on. Very patiently. Amanato is playing very patiently. Welcome to play b4 if you want to. Nothing. You cannot do b4, weakening all the points. c4 point will become weak. Because there are two rooks, the pressure. Go away. And the break will come. e4 point. Minus. Systematical improving. Systematical. Excellent game by Farooq Amanato. I liked it. Anyway, so that means that is not a dangerous system. And the D5 weakness already I have told you how he exploited. And anyway, I will show you that one more time. It is worth. It is worth. अरे कहाँ से नहीं आता है भाई, कहाँ से गया. So player Boleslavski, Laves, and black was Licit Sin. No, I think Licit Sin. The next one, yeah. Now all this is standard pattern. So what has happened? The D5 weakness. I am ready to give bishop here and take so that I will exploit it. Queen exchange is bad. Tempo, take, bishop. Now suddenly, now I want to take the knight and seize the d5 square. Take, d5. Now White's plan is total domination. The knight is the boss. Knight is the boss. This is doing nothing here. No role. So White plan is to just start rolling the pawns, take the pawn, and then mating attack. This is very simple. So what should we do? What should we do here? Now if you play some move, this is a bad move. अब ये क्वीन बैठ जाएगा, इसको उठाएगा कौन? ये क्वीन जो बैठ गया, I cannot remove. The knight cannot come, and if you queen exchange is attack, that means before before you push the pawn, you have to queen come here, the queen come here, control the square, and then push. So the simple plan. I want to roll king side pawns. Queen e2, queen f1, g3. So now pawns will start. h4. If you take g pawn, it is welcome. I will open. It is lost, completely lost. Take. Now attack will play itself. g5. Cannot take my rook. रूक को हाथ मत लगाओ, क्वीन चला जाएगा, हैं? हाथ मत लगाओ, हाथ जल जाएगा. So this is that is the whole idea. The whole idea is d5, d5. Knight is the boss, and I like the move queen f1 and then g. Now I will show you the game of Smyslov Denker, or I will show the game. Which is the one I told you? Fisher, Fisher, Fisher's game. Fisher. हाँ भैया. सर कहाँ है ये? रॉबर्ट फिशर. किसको मारा था वो? Oh, I can miss this. Not getting it. Not getting. Not getting now. Okay, I will find that game sometime later. I'm not able to look at now. Maybe I don't know if Smyslov and Denker. Maybe I will show Smyslov Denker. Now weakness. You don't want to exchange the bishop, then king is weak, and you play weakness. This is enough. Square. Please watch this square. This weak square I will watch. Now queen. So I want to seize the d5 square. You cannot take that pawn. Bishop into pawn will lose the game quickly. If bishop takes pawn, knight into pawn, and then b3 is a threat. This is winning quickly. Then e6 threat. So you cannot take that pawn. So here comes knight. Cannot take the pawn yet. Bishop into pawn, rook c1 will come. So only move. Now notice. Okay, how to exploit the d5 square? The d5 weakness, the plan is to exchange this bishop for this. Then knight is the boss. I want to get rid of these two bishops. Then the bishop will be dummy. The knight will be the king. हाँ? आजा exchange the bishop. मार दो हो गया. अभी now I can plant. I can double the rook here. I can play queen d3, knight e4. White square. I can just double. No d5. Enough. The weakness, and now gradually he is pushed back and back. And now what happens is when upon now he is completely passive and bad pieces. White is playing with four pieces and black is playing with three passive pieces. All are active, 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 active. Now passive, passive, passive. ये तो गेम में है ही नहीं. So this is gone. I should improve the game. Next job, my king will come here. Now next one, I will bring the king. I will place this one. All these things. ले लिया pawn. बस हो गया. Enough. I take the pawn and win the game. That betting attack will come. So the whole point is the d5 weakness. I am not getting why I am not getting that Fisher game. I can get it maybe. I think it is some game I forgot it. Okay, I will discuss later. Now coming to another middle game. I don't have much time today, so I will take you to maybe some opening I can do still. Eh? कहाँ से आए? Let it side में रखो. Maybe I'll show this variation. I'll show one variation. This one. Many times we find problems against Kings Indian players. No, they do not like classical system. The attack does not come. Classical means fianchetto. This is the classical setup. And if you play here d4, c4, e4, this is the main line. Here g6, c4, bishop g7, and c3, castle, e4, d6. Now b2, this is our main line. I play e5, castle, knight. Now this is the standard main position. But to avoid this, sometimes people don't like attack of black. So they play systematically g3. So why this move is played? I must tell you why this is played. Because if you play normal move like knight d7, white can give a trouble with queen c2. I don't know who played this. I think there are many players who master Romanin Sin, Fomini. This gives a hard time to black. For example, for example, now, oh no, knight c3 has come. That is the problem. This no here. Suppose you play d4, that line goes differently. Castle d4, d6. Now castle and d7, queen c2. This is how you play. This is called the Romanian sin or hominy. And now if you play e5, he is going to take and take rd1, giving you trouble. You can't push the pawn. Knight g5 with the pawn is gone. The pawn is gone. Now there is a direct threat. And rook here is not a good move. Rook here, it is a bad move. Why it is a bad move? Because you will play e4. Suddenly the bishop it is closed and the rook line is closed. Now you need to develop these pieces. How are you going to develop? You play like this, you will play s3. Preparing to play b3. Queen c7. Now b3 with the idea of c5. Now knight here. Now he will play c5 with the idea the knight is coming. The knight is coming. The bishop is blocked. So the rook e8. Why Roman sin used to shut the rook. This is a blunder, and if you play, you will just close the rook. And if you play the move queen here, then white can play b3, giving trouble once again. To avoid all these things, normally a player they can play this move order. This move. Now, if you play d4, I will play d6. Now you castle, I will play c6. Now this is not possible. It is bad because of bf5. So you can play in this move order, c6, so that queen c2 plan is blocked. If you are not developing the knight, suppose you are not bringing the knight, then obviously is preparing queen. Okay, so I am going to discuss how to handle such a setup. Okay, c6 setup. So c6, knight c3 will come, not queen c2. Now queen f. The main idea now I want black wants to prepare a6 b5 plan. This is one of the plan, and queen coming here. So bishop g4. I like this. Now the focus point is this. I take bishop and knight of d7 and e5 and of d7. Fighting for a central square. What else? What else you will do? I'm going to play b5, b4. I'm going to play e5. Well done. Now the point is how if you take it is bad. You know the power of the bishop, the King's Indian bishop. King's Indian bishop. You pushed up and taking is bad. So he plays rook here. So that now the rook is protecting the knight. I can take it or I can push it. But what about this one? What about this? What about no? You can play this move. I think this is a good move. This is a good move. We protect this. You protect this. So who is this player? Atalik. He played here pawn into pawn. Black has got lot of activity. There is no attack on the king. You see, this piece is not going to play a role in attack. So when you have made fianchetto, you cannot go for attack. So this is good. Controlling d5. The queen exchange, the king will come. You exchange the queen and then king will come to center. Good move. So, a desperation, no problem. This is just blunder, whatever it is. So, I think this setup I'm going to show for few more games and it will be useful to you. If you are a King's Indian player against the fianchetto, this is a very good setup. Queen a5. What else? Normal. These are natural moves. Now the dark squares, because you want to push the b5 square, sometime problem. So a6 preparing b5. Oh, this is bad. Of course, White is Grandmaster. Hulak is an experienced Grandmaster, but I think he is playing on own, not out of preparation. This is definitely cannot be preparation. Right? This position is so much tension. The bishop is watching this, so don't have to worry about this. One lot of loose structure. I want the c5 square. If you push this pawn, I will move the knight. Then c4, c5. Lot of problems will come. Very strongly played. Now queen takes pawn is a third red blunder. It is a blunder only. I think queen takes pawn. I think knight e5 and knight into check. Knight into check also winning. Or I can take the pawn also. This is simple also. This is also plus. So he comes through plus. No f4. Black stands better. So this you can see, you can push the pawn. Black pieces are active. So the fianchetto, I had the problem. I was a King Indian player. I had the problem. Always I did not like the fianchetto. But this setup is good. Queen c2, bf5 will come. So knight, then queen f5. And then go for the dark squares. This is very good. I have got a ready-made square. A fantastic square for my piece. Welcome. Welcome to take the pawn. You will get into mess anyway. So queen into b7, knight e5, then queen is in mess. मस में है ये कोई सो नहीं ले सकता है हो गया अभी भी नहीं मार सकता है he has controlled the pawn has controlled the square the fantastic knight it is black is clear better any question here no exchange चलेगा this is okay compensation जरूरत से ज्यादा है अभी you can play the end game ab5 end game also bad enough right attack this is enough कितना वीकनेस है ये तो पॉन जाने वाला ही है ये आ रहा है ये वीकनेस एक्सचेंज देना माइनस टू पास पॉन्स विल कम डेफिनेटली लॉस्ट सो ये जो लाइन बहुत अच्छा है द प्रॉब्लम इज द ब्लैक अभी ये तो छोड़ो ये भी एक देख लेते हैं so this is a position we have already seen and now knight already have seen this plan I will tell you the problem of King's Indian players now I leave this uh, Maybe here, whose game I would say Khalifman. I would say Khalifman. Alexander Khalifman versus Grandmaster Tifse. नहीं है ये नहीं है क्या नहीं है इधर आई एम सॉरी नहीं मिल रहा है मिलना तो चाहिए था तो ओके मे बी आई विल शो दैट गेम लास्ट गेम खलीफ क्या हो रहा है इधर why I'm not able to see the games this is corruption something okay I am unable to show maybe I'll show this way how do I go to the games टाई ब्रेक गेम कहाँ है भाई टूर्नामेंट में है, इसीलिए नहीं आ रहा है इसीलिए नहीं आ रहा है गेम में जाना है ओके देन आई विल गो इफ यू गो टू द गेम I'm unable to search that okay never mind so I will show you that game later I'm unable to get that now so in the afternoon session I will cover some opening variations some practice and probably I will show that game I will search so thank you very much friends being with me I'll see you again back at 2:30 today सबको मेरा नमस्कार take care and bye